Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of Kit Conspiracy. This is a new week and we are using the Minte Photographer Collection as well as some pieces from the Minte Mamarazzi collection. So this piece happens to be from a photographer, which happens to have this like tealy color all the way throughout the line. There is, I think, maybe one piece that has more of that brownish color, one or two pieces, maybe on the B sides, that have more of the brownish color on the insides, but there's a lot of teal throughout it. And I really liked it, but I had to go kind of searching back for photos that I thought would look good with this. Now, yeah, I could have used the B sides, but I didn't want to just use the B sides. I wanted to show you guys a couple of ways to use the A sides. So that is what I'm doing here. I'm just using my Fiskars knife or blade, and I have a cutting mat under there. I'm not cutting on top of my glass mat. That's not something that I do. Also, it can ruin your glass mat or etch into your glass mat. So I am using a little black piece underneath, which I know you can only see a little bit of it sticking out, but I'm making sure it's underneath where I am cutting. And then I have some really old photos of me, high school aged me, and I was doing a modeling shoot for a training purposes, basically. Yeah, so interesting fact. I did a little bit of modeling school back in the day, but I didn't really go anywhere with it. I didn't actually even try. It was kind of just something I wanted to do for fun. And so, yeah, that's what I did. Uh, so, yeah, I had to really dig back for some photos, and then I had to do a little bit of correcting on the photos, and that is why I'm just using this white photo mat. That is actually the original photo to the left, or that I keep putting in there, but I'm going to swap it out for one of the other photos from the same shoot. The dress and the piece of cloth that I'm sitting on are like the perfect photo colors for this photographer paper, so that's why I went ahead and pulled that out. But there was some damage to the photo. You probably can't see it on this screen, but it's a little bit scratched up or not perfect. So I had a friend of mine do a little cleanup on that, and she's fantastic at it. So she's been doing some cleanup on some of my older photos for me. I really, really appreciate it, and it makes all the difference. But I thought I'd work on this while she was doing some cleanup, so I just put that photo mat in there as a placeholder. Now these are the chippies for, I think that's what they call them, what Minte calls them. It's chipboard pieces, that piece that says captured. I'm going to turn that into a shaker pocket. And I've got a whole bunch of ephemera. Most of the orangey or the yellow and red ones are, and pinky peach ones are all from the Mamarazzi collection. I'm not going to use those ones on this particular layout, but some of these cameras could be from that. There's a lot of pieces that kind of coordinate between cameras and film strips and all that kind of stuff, because they both kind of have the same theme going on, just different color schemes. And so I'm going to go ahead, actually I think that, I'm not sure, that film strip could be from either one of them. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do some layering up here and figure out how I'm going to put all of this together. And like I said, I'm going to switch photos as well, because I don't know, I ended up liking one of the other photos better, but you will see me use this photo on on Wednesday. Now I know I'm doing a lot of single photo layouts this week. I am going to try and get one done that has multiple photos on it, but it probably won't be during Kit Conspiracy, mostly because I am just out of time. I'm really just pressed for time. We are getting ready for a trip, and yeah, I just don't have the time at my desk to sit down and actually create it, even though I have everything picked out and ready to go. I think it's going to have to come down the road. It might even have to wait till January, because we have wood grain in winter and the advent calendar coming up in December. So you might have to come back and check that out later. Anyway, I am inking up my chipboard here. I did some black around the outside edge and the inside edge, and then the face of it, I am going over it with some hero hues in unicorn white. And I feel like the white looks better than the creamy color that it was. I know it's kind of cream just so that you could make it whatever color you want, but I wanted it to be white. And then I'm putting some acetate over the back. Started out using liquid glue, but I wiped that off with my fingers, you just saw there. And I'm just going to use a little bit of dot tape runner. I feel like the dot works really well on this because the little pieces are so narrow. If I use the ATG, then I've got way too much glue on it. So the dot liner, which is, this one is Kikuyo, and it works great. So I did that, and then I know I need to make a I don't know what you call that. It just lost my brain. I need to make a gap behind the acetate for all of those sequin pieces to roll around in. And so I'm using some really thin foam tape again. I'm saying again because I've said this in a few videos, but probably you didn't see that, or maybe you didn't see it. But this roll of tape is super thin. I think it is a 1/16 of an inch thick or wide. And it is from my friend Janie. She purchased it and gifted it to me. And I don't know where she got it from, so I can't really tell you that. But it's perfect for these frames because it fits just great and I don't have to cut anything. I am just peeling off the backer from it. And I'm going to use a little bit of glassine bag over the back so it's semi-transparent. You saw me pour the... I should have planned this better, you guys. I poured my sequins in there, and then I used the, oh my goodness, powder tool from Tailored Expressions in there, just so that it doesn't have a lot of static buildup. But I should have put this little black strip in behind the word captured because I wanted that in there to really make it pop. And I should have done that first before I put anything on, or even the foam tape, or before I took the backer off the foam tape. It would have just been easier. Also, I had to pull my glassine bag back because I thought I'd add a little bit more of the brown sequins to it, just to bring in more of the browns. There's a brown camera in the upper left-hand corner. There's some brown on the camera mount in the on the right-hand side of the photo. And then, of course, in the center behind the photo, it's kind of got like a beigey, greigey kind of a look to it. And so these are going to help pull it all together. And so I'm going to shake them up as best I can, and I'm just adding them through the corner because I don't want to take the entire glassine bag off because it is stuck down everywhere really well except for this corner. So I'm just kind of, finagling them in there and tapping them down as I go. Then I'll get that closed up, and I'm going to glue the whole thing down to my layout. But of course I can't get all of the corners glued down because I haven't got my photo in there quite yet, so that's going to be interesting and fun. It's going to work out fine, but sometimes that's what you have to do, especially if you do a lot of classes and you don't necessarily have photos available. When you layer up stuff that could potentially go over your photo, you want to leave the backers on them, or use a powder tool to remove the adhesive so that they don't stick down and you can still tuck your photo underneath. Hopefully that all makes a bit of sense. Okay, I've got my little film strip there and a little floral in that bottom right hand corner. I'm liking how that's looking. Yes, I did cover up the florals that were already printed on the page, but that's okay. This is going to add a little bit of dimension. I like the way that it looks. I am adding some foam dimensional adhesive underneath the film strip and the flowers where they're hanging off over the edge of that chipboard piece because it's got quite a bit of dimension there and it needs it to support it. And then I'm adding some sequins, and I don't know why I didn't pull out my sequin tool, my what do you call that? My crystal katana. I didn't pull that out. I don't know. I'm just using my tweezers, and it's working okay. I don't usually use the tweezers. I prefer the crystal katana, but because these were spread out so far on my desk, it was really easy to pick them up. And then I'm just using a little Dina Wakley white media gloss around the corners to finish the whole thing off. And then you're going to see, well, maybe I already put the picture in. Nope, I haven't even put the picture in yet. And then I'm going to use a couple of these really thin chipboard stickers from the Mamarazzi collection. to finish off my clusters, and then I will be adding my photo. I think I'm going to add one of those kind of brownish peachish colored hearts as well. They kind of go with the sequins I've got going on. They also go with the browns that are in this paper. So I think I'm going to add one of those as well. While I do all of that, don't forget to check out MK's channel and see what she's doing today with these Mintake collections and see how she's using them. I'm sure she's doing something fabulous and completely different than what I'm doing. But go and check her out. I will put a link down below for that so you can, get to that easily. And then here is the photo that I traded out for. Yes, it does not show the teal dress, but that's okay. That photo, again, is going to be used later in the week. Again, like I said, I feel really weird doing these photos because they're not photos that I like show everybody usually, but they go great with this collection. And I guess eventually I want them in my album anyway. It's part of my childhood or my high school years, and so yeah, so there they are. It's kind of weird. I did cut out a couple of those leaves that were on that cluster because they were hanging down in my face, and I will be using them somewhere else here to tuck them in. Always try to repurpose them for something else if you can, because it just adds to all of the layers and the beauty of the layout. So I like how this came together. I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope that you enjoy it as well. So I'm lastly putting a layer of some Black Soot Distress ink around the edge just to kind of finish everything off, and that's gonna pretty much do it for this layout. Thank you so much for watching and spending time with me today, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing as well. Thank you again for taking time to spend time with me today. I truly do appreciate it. I know you guys have a lot of options out there, and I say this periodically, but it really does mean a whole lot to me that you chose to watch my channel today. So thank you for doing that, and I will see you guys again on Wednesday with another one. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.